Hi there and welcome to WCMU's Quiz Central. With us tonight, Farwell and Roscommon, so don't go away.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, Maroon and Gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com, on campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kulhalvi Event Center.
Good luck to both of our teams. Let's play Quiz Central.
Chopin.
Correct. All right, your next toss-up.
The lottery.
Right.
The Stranger.
You are correct. Traverse City Central hangs on. They are our season champions. Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to Quiz Central. I'm your host, Steve Smith. And our teams tonight are Farwell and Roscommon. They are two of 48 teams competing again this year. The Quiz Central teams are divided into 4 divisions based on school size. Each division will have a champion, and one of those teams will become this season's overall winner. Scholarships from Central Michigan University are on the line. Let's hear more about that from Rick Westover.
The 4 starters and 3 alternates of the division championship teams will each receive a 2-year, $4,000 room and board scholarship from Central Michigan University Residence Life. In addition, 4 lucky Quiz Central seniors will receive textbook scholarships from the CMU Bookstore. And a special thanks to CMU Enrollment and Student Services, which provides lunch for our contestants and their traveling party.
And with that, let's jump right into the action with the Maroon and Gold round. The Maroon and Gold round gives teams 2 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. If the team ringing in misses the question, the opposing team will have a chance to respond. There's no talking among team members. Correct answers are worth 10 points. Good luck to both of our teams. Here is your first question. What Oscar-winning 2018 song, which asks, "Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore?" Jackson, Roscommon.
Shallow.
That's right. What name is shared by a yellow flag that includes a snake and the phrase "don't tread on me," as well as an amber? Farwell.
Pass.
Answer? How about Roscommon? I'll finish the question. It's also the name of an 1854 purchase of land from Mexico. Jackson?
Gadsden.
That's correct. Next question. In 1892, Alexander Berkman and Emma Goldman conspired to assassinate what chairman of the Carnegie Steel Company during the Homestead Strike? Next question. What biblical character interprets dreams about cows, refuses Potiphar's wife in Egypt, and receives a coat of many colors? Connor, Roscommon.
Joseph.
That's right. Next question. In 1906, Alaska's capital was moved from Sitka to what city, the state's current capital?
Anchorage.
Amber, Farwell.
Anchorage.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Roscommon. Jackson?
Juneau.
That's correct. Sublimation is an example of what kind of process that requires a change in latent heat and involves matter transitioning from one state to another? Jackson, Roscommon.
Just a phase change?
That's right. Finney invents a game called Blitzball in what coming-of-age novel by John Knowles set at a prep school called Devon? Next question. What country where Dian Fossey was murdered in 1985 saw nearly 1 million Tutsis killed in a namesake 1994 genocide? And we will move on. Sorry, a little too late, Amber. Robert Maynard tracked and killed what English pirate who captained the Queen Anne's Revenge and who was nicknamed for his distinctive facial hair? Jordan, you just got in. You are correct. All right, nice job there. Okay, we are off to a 50-10 score. The questions that we missed, the chairman of Carnegie Steel was Henry Clay Fick. The novel by John Knowles was a separate piece. And the country where Dian Fossey was murdered was Rwanda. All right, so that gives us a chance now to get to know our contestants just a little bit better. We'll turn to Farwell and Xandra.
I'm Xandra Card. I'm a sophomore at Farwell High School. I'm in choir and drama.
I'm Jordan Kosnick. I'm a sophomore at Farwell High School. I do robotics and choir.
Hi, I'm Vincent White. I'm the team captain and I play percussion and band.
Hi, I'm Amber Flowers. I'm a sophomore and I'm in robotics and quiz bowl.
All right, great to have you here. They are coached by Andrew Frisch. Let's give them a nice round of applause. And Roscommon also made the trip today. Hi there, Mac.
I'm Mac from Roscommon. I participate in soccer, basketball, and track.
I'm Jackson Thiel. I'm a sophomore at Roscommon. I play baseball, basketball, and I run cross country.
I'm Drew Jaskowski. I'm a junior at Roscommon, and I participate in cross country and golf.
I'm Connor. I'm a junior at Roscommon, and I participate in cross country and musical.
All right, nice to have you here as well. The alternates for Roscommon are Emily Terry, Isaac Gee, and Audrey Teeple. The team's coach is Jim Perry-Ellis. Let's give him a nice round of applause. And with that, we get right back to Quiz Central in the kickoff round. The kickoff round is a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. The team that correctly answers the toss-up question will be asked a bonus. Then we go back to a toss-up question for both teams. Toss-up questions need an individual response, but team members can consult on the bonuses. Captains, remember the answers must come from you on the bonuses unless you defer to a colleague. Here is your first toss-up question. What Chief Justice from Maryland, who held the role from 1836 to 1864, wrote the majority opinion in the 1857 Dred Scott case? The answer there would be Tawney, Roger Tawney. Next question. What author was supposedly called the little lady who started this great war for her novel featuring the slave owner Simon Legree? Jackson, Roscommon.
Stowe.
That's right, and here is your first bonus of the game. What group of metals, which tend to form colorful complexes, are characterized by partially filled D subshells?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Transition metals.
You are correct. All right. Back to both teams. Sarah Jane Moore and Squeaky Fromm both tried to assassinate what president who signed the Helsinki Accords in 1975 after succeeding Richard Nixon? Jackson, Roscommon.
Ford.
That's right, and another bonus. Augustus Caesar became Roman emperor after his forces defeated the forces of Mark Antony and Cleopatra at what 31 BC naval battle?
Actium.
That's right. Both teams play on this one. In Macbeth, what nobleman not of woman born kills Macbeth? Jackson, Roscommon.
Macduff.
That's right, and another bonus. What punctuation mark can set apart a positives from the rest of a sentence?
This is the
Amber,
bonus.
Farwell. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a bonus. Let me finish it for Roscommon here. From the rest of the sentence, it also separates items in a simple list.
A comma.
That's right. All right, both teams. In June 2019, 2 oil tankers were attacked in a Gulf named for what Arab country that has been led by Sultan Qaboos since 1970?
Persian
Amber,
Gulf.
Farwell.
Persian Gulf.
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. How about Roscommon? Stumped you on that one. Oman was the correct answer. Another toss-up question. What physical constant, which is the subject of one of Albert Einstein's postulates of special relativity, is roughly 300 million meters per second? Amber, Farwell.
Speed of light.
That is correct. Here you go with your first bonus. What Netflix series that previously aired on Fox stars Tom Ellis as a supernatural being who uses the name Morningstar as a nightclub owner in L.A.?
Lucifer?
That's correct. Both teams. How many musicians are needed to perform a celebrated minuet by Luigi Baccarino and a piece named for a fish by Franz Schubert, his Trout Quintet? Jackson, Roscommon.
5.
That's right. Here's a bonus. A troubled family interrupts a theater rehearsal and insists that their story be dramatized in what play by Luigi Pirandello?
I don't know.
Okay, that would be 6 characters in search of an author. Both teams on a toss-up. What island, where the writing system known as Linear A and Linear B were developed, was home to the Palace of Knossos, built by the Minoans? Jackson, Roscommon.
Crete.
Right. Here is a bonus. Harbor seals can consciously control vasoconstriction, the narrowing of what structures whose smallest type is the capillary?
Arteries. Arteries?
Yep, we will accept that answer. Blood vessels or arteries. End of that round there, and Roscommon is off to a strong lead. 140-30 is our score. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll pick up the pace and play the perfect 10, so don't go away.
Preschool gives children the foundation they need to be successful in school and in life. But more than half of kids in the U.S. do not have the opportunity to attend a pre-K program, making them 25% more likely to drop out of school before graduation. The PBS Kids 24/7 channel provides quality programming, games, and hands-on activities that are proven to develop early learning skills.
When you say the word PBS, immediately quality comes to mind. And not just quality, but a massive cultural diversity. Everybody here in the United States gets a look at a global culture, which is phenomenally presented. What makes PBS so strong is that it is a product of the support of the public. It stands out as a public service. It reaches out and grabs a nation and it grabs a world, and I think that's wonderful.
All right, welcome back to Quiz Central and the Perfect 10 round. The Perfect 10 round gives you 60 seconds to answer 10 questions from your choice of clues to 3 categories. The opposing team gets 30 seconds to tackle all unasked Mr. Past questions. Roscommon, you've got the lead, so Farwell will go first. Today's clues to the categories are the skeleton dance, take me to your leader, and this category is brought to you by the letters M and J. The skeleton dance, take me to your leader, and this category is brought to you by the letters M and J. Which one sounds good to you?
Take me to your leader because that's going to have to do with space.
Okay, take me to your leader.
Take me to your leader. And the actual category there is long tenured leaders. Name the country or empire led by these heads of state, all of whom served at least 10 years. Louis XIV, the Sun King.
England?
Nope. Hirohito.
Japan?
Yup. Basil the Bulgar Slayer.
Europe?
Nope. Pedro II.
Mexico.
Mexico?
Nope. Marcus Aurelius.
Pass.
Francisco Franco.
Spain.
Right. Josip Broz Tito.
Russia.
Nope. Robert Mugabe.
Pass.
Deng Xiaoping.
China.
Yes. And Rafael Trujillo.
Pass.
All right. All right, Roscommon, here you go. 10 or 30 seconds on the clock. Name the country or empire led by these heads of state, all of whom served at least 10 years. Louis XIV, the Sun King.
France.
Yes. Basil the Bulgar Slayer.
England.
Nope. Pedro II.
Brazil.
Yup. Marcus Aurelius.
Rome.
Yes. Josip Broz Tito.
Yugoslavia.
Yes. Robert Mugabe.
You want to guess something?
I'm sorry?
No.
Okay. And Rafael Trujillo.
Dominican Republic.
That is correct. All right.
Nice.
Here were the ones that were missed. Basil, the Bulgar Slayer, was the Byzantine Empire. And Robert Mugabe was Zimbabwe's leader. All right, good. So now we have 2 categories left. Roscommon is in control, and the remaining categories are the skeleton dance, and this category is brought to you by the letters M and J.
Sponsored by?
Okay. M and J. Name these people and things that can be abbreviated MJ. Hall of Fame guard who played for the Chicago Bulls.
Michael Jordan.
Right. Chinese tile-laying game.
Mahjong.
Yup. Singer of Beat It and Thriller.
Michael Jackson.
Right. Redheaded girlfriend of Peter Parker and Spider-Man comics.
Mary Jane.
Yup. Lead singer of the Rolling Stones.
Mick Jagger.
Right. LA Laker who retired from the NBA in 1991 following an HIV diagnosis.
Magic Johnson.
Yep. 1 million of the SI unit of energy.
Megajoule.
Right. Founder of Pakistan.
Okay. I'll pass.
All right. Chimpanzee nemesis of Powerpuff Girls.
Pass.
And actor who played Alex P. Keaton on the sitcom Family Ties.
Michael J. Fox?
You are right. Okay, here you go, Farwell. 30 seconds on the clock. Name these people and things that can be abbreviated by MJ. Founder of Pakistan.
Pass.
All right. Chimpanzee nemesis of the Powerpuff Girls.
Defer to Zandra.
Mojo Jojo.
You are right. Okay. I was hoping I'd get to say that. That's a fun name. But anyhow, founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Okay, not the most obvious one. But with that, Roscommon holds on to a lead, 270-70. And with that, we move on with our game and the home stretch round. The home stretch round is like round two, a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. I'll ask you a toss-up question. The team that answers correctly will be asked a bonus. Then we go back to a toss-up for both teams. Here we go. First question in the home stretch round. What novel in which the ailing Lucy Westenra is treated with garlic at the suggestion of Dr. Van Helsing is a Bram Stoker, Jackson Roscommon?
Dracula?
That's right. Bonus question. Benvenuto Cellini made a sculpture of what mythological hero holding the head of Medusa?
Perseus?
That's right. Both teams now. What hero who died after putting on a robe soaked in the poisonous blood of Nessus killed the Jackson Roscommon?
Hercules?
That's right. Another bonus. Boron trifluoride is a type of acid named for what American chemist whose namesake structures depict the electrons in a molecule?
Oh, Lewis.
That's right. Both teams on a toss-up. What function gives the number of permutations of n objects equals the product of the first n natural numbers and is denoted by an exclamation mark? Jackson Roscommon.
Factorial?
That's correct. Here's another bonus. Adolf Hitler seized dictatorial power after a 1933 arson attack on what German parliament building?
The Reichstag?
That's correct. All right, here's a bonus. A toss-up. What successor of manga established the Yuan dynasty and was visited by Marco Polo during his time as leader of the Mongol Empire? Jackson Roscommon.
Kublai Khan?
That's right, and another bonus. In July 2019, what billionaire environmentalist who has advocated impeaching Donald Trump announced he'd run for president as a Democrat?
There are like 30 options.
Sorry, this is a bonus?
There are like 30 options. You want to name somebody?
Need an answer. Answer?
Beto O'Rourke?
Nope, it was Tom Steyer. Another toss-up question with both teams playing. What title character is nursed back to health by Mrs. Maley and adopted by Mr. Brownlow after escaping from Fagin's gang in a Charles Dickens novel? Jackson?
Oliver Twist?
That's correct. Another bonus. Thermodynamics is closely related to the statistical branch of what field of physics, whose classical branch includes the study of kinematics? Sorry, another bonus question for Roscommon.
Pass.
Okay, it's mechanics.
Okay.
Both teams play on this one. What Florida city where the Tampa Bay Rays play in Tropicana Field shares its name with a city in Russia that was formerly known as Leningrad? Connor Roscommon.
St. Petersburg?
That's right, and another bonus for Roscommon. What is the Latin name of the constellation known as the Water Bearer, the 11th sign of the zodiac?
Pisces?
Nope, sorry. Aquarius. All right, both teams.
Dang.
In August 2019, what most populous Native American tribe announced it would, as allowed by an 1835 treaty, send a delegate from its nation to Congress? And that would be the Cherokee Nation. Another toss-up. In 1860 and 1861, the Burke and Wills expedition traveled about 2,000 miles from south to north across what present-day country? And that's Australia. All right, next question. Polar bonds occur due to differences in what quantity that is measured?
Electronegativity.
Go ahead, Jackson. I'm sorry?
Electronegativity.
That's correct, and a bonus. Jonathan Swift wrote what satirical essay that suggested Irish poverty could be alleviated by eating children?
I don't know.
Okay, it's a modest proposal. And with that, Roscommon can't be stopped. 370-70 is our score as we pause for another break. And when we come back, we'll play the final countdown. Don't go away.
Our great state of Michigan is truly one of a kind. From the city streets to the small towns, you can see it all right here on Destination Michigan. We'll crisscross the state in search of the sights, the sounds, and of course the people that make Michigan the greatest state in the land. Take in the scenery, meet the people, and experience the wonder of the Great Lakes state. Come along with us as we share your stories on Destination Michigan.
Unlock your newest member benefit. Over 1,000 episodes of your favorite PBS shows. American Masters, Antiques Roadshow, Nature, Nova, Masterpiece. Watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere. Become a member, sign in, and start streaming today.
All right, this is it, the Quiz Central Final Countdown. This is another 2-minute rapid-fire round. The first player to ring in gets a shot at answering the question. If you get it wrong, we turn to the opposing team for a chance to answer. What religion is associated with zombies and namesake dolls? Jackson, Roscommon.
Voodoo.
That's correct. Quantum computers use what units of information analogous to bits in classical computers? Vincent Farwell.
Qubits.
That's right. What object designated Messier 31 is the largest member of the local group and is expected to collide with the Milky Way galaxy? And Amber, Farwell?
The galaxy?
Nope, I'm sorry. It's expected to... Okay,
Andromeda.
Jackson, go ahead.
Andromeda.
That's right. The Indonesian capital, Jakarta, was called Batavia, while Indonesia was ruled by what European power? Jordan, Farwell?
What is Britain?
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. Jack, Roscommon? Nope. Okay, we'll get an answer on that one in a minute. If the standard key signature contains sharps in order, what pitch will always be the first sharp marked on the staff? Jackson and Roscommon.
F.
That's correct. In July 2019, an Omega block caused what type of weather event that killed 5 people in France and set temperature records in 5 nations? Your next question. In what 1972 NASA mission, the last of its project, did Harrison Schmitt and Gene Cernan leave the last human footprints on the moon? Mac, Roscommon.
Apollo 17.
That's right. What film whose protagonist buys the Daily Inquirer and is based on William Randolph Hearst stars Orson Welles as a man whose last word is Rosebud? Jackson, Roscommon.
Citizen Kane.
That's right. What actor voiced the title character in the 2019 movie Detective Pikachu and is also Jackson, Roscommon?
Ryan Reynolds.
That's right. What author who used the line, "I have done it again," to open her poem Lady Lazarus, wrote about Esther Greenwood's mental illness in the bell jar? Sorry, we are out of time there, but the answer to that would have been Sylvia Plath. Well, like I said earlier, there was no stopping Roscommon. A good game by them. Let's give them a nice round of applause. We only actually missed 2 questions in that round. The weather event that killed 5 people in France was a heat wave. To me, I thought that was one of the easier questions, but you guys have answered a lot tougher ones than that. And then Jakarta was called Batavia, while Indonesia was ruled by the Netherlands. All right, but both teams, really nice to have you here. It was a fun game. Let's give them both a nice round of applause. And that does it for this edition of Quiz Central. Until next time, you can like us on Facebook or watch your favorite game online as we feature the best and brightest high school students from around the state. Thanks for watching.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, Maroon and Gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com, on campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kulhalvi Event Center.